Okay, hey guys, my name is Terrence and today I'm going to show you how to set up your chart and indicator settings. So, without further ado, let's just jump right in. First thing we want to do is go to chart settings up here at the top. We want to click on this. We want to go to the symbol section. It should be the first thing already highlighted. And we want to click this first bar, color bars based on previous close. That should always be checked. All right, and the next thing we're going to do is change these colors. Body, borders, and width. On this left side, we're going to make sure that everything over here is orange. Like so. And then on this side, the right side, we're going to make all of these blue. And the blue and orange are located on the first level. That's fine. Lastly, for price lines, we want to make sure this is checked the last and the color is yellow. And then we're going to click on OK. As you can see, these candles colors look pretty weird, but it's okay because we're going to fix that in the indicator settings. So I want you to go over here and click on the vMAX indicator and highlight the name, and you will see the settings tab. I want you to click on that. And right before we get started with jumping into the settings, I want you to just notice that there are three inputs or three sections, and we're only going to focus on the inputs and the style. First, we're going to tackle the inputs. These first two settings should be checked. So secondary, use secondary should both be checked. Secondary source, we're going to change from close. You're going to click on that drop down, and it's going to be HL2. All right. So from now, you're going to click anywhere in this gray area to unhighlight the box. This number on secondary length is correct. It should be 5 for both for you now currently. Secondary upper line, we have to change this. So we're going to click in this box and change that from 55 to 65. Okay, and we're going to click back. Secondary zero line at 50 is correct. Secondary lower early line, we're going to change that from 45 to 35. And we're going to click back. Okay, show early levels is probably unchecked. It should be checked. Okay. Show secondary cross over under signal should also be checked. It's probably already checked for you, so that's no problem. Okay, these numbers should be 14, 30, 0. Left bars for pivot should be 1. Right bars for pivot should be 1. This whole section should already be correct for you. If it's not, please adjust them, but it should be these settings as they are. And now we're going to get into the colors, which is going to change this indicator colors up here. You'll see it happening in real time. So let's get right into it. Failure by color. We're going to change that to an orange. Failure cell color, we're going to change that to blue. SEO color, we're going to change that to blue as well. And if you want, you can bring this opacity down to about 60%. This SEO overbought color, doesn't really matter what color you pick. We're going to bring the opacity down to 0. All right. And then we're going to do the same thing for the oversold. Bring that down to 0. Okay, now the sentiment 0 line color, we're going to make that blue. We're going to make that blue, and we're going to drag this down to about 60%. Like so. Okay. And the last four, we're going to change the secondary color to an orange. And we're going to bring that opacity down. And let's go 50%. This is only making it a brighter color. It's really up to you how you decide you want to visualize it on the chart. I like the 50%. It looks good. You can mess with the settings on this if you would like to. Let's keep moving. The secondary zero line color, we're also going to make this orange, but we're going to bring this all the way down, the opacity all the way down to 25%. Okay. The secondary bullish signal color, we're going to make this also an orange. And then the bearish, we're going to make that blue. And you can see the secondary bullish and the bearish over here. All right. So the next section, bar color. Colors range bars should be checked. We want to make these numbers again. This 40, we want to change that to a 35. And click inside of the 60. Change that to a 65. Okay, you want to make sure that this is correct. Color below, this should be an orange. The color between, doesn't matter. We're going to drag the opacity down to 0%, so it doesn't really matter. The color above, we're going to make that a blue. All right. Okay, now in this section, color bars when cross over, under, early, and zero lines. So we're gonna make this real quick. The only thing that matters are the upper line crossover and the lower early line crossover. So all of these, we're just gonna black them out with zero opacity. The first two, right? The next, the third one, which is what we care about, we're going to make this orange, the upper early line, and then we're going to make the lower one blue. And then zero and upper, we're going to black those out as well with zero opacity. So yours should look exactly like this. The only two that matter are these two. All right. And the last thing on the bottom here, this both should be 1. On our secondary failure colors, we're going to make the left one orange. And we're going to make the right one blue. And now we're going to scroll back up. Please make sure everything that you have looks exactly like mine. And then we're going to go over the style. Okay. So on the style, failure has nothing here, but we're going to make something there. We're going to click on this and we're going to go to the third option. We're going to click that. We're going to uncheck the overbought and the oversold, you can see that things happen over here when you uncheck those. So we uncheck those. We're going to make the sentiment 0 line. We're going to leave this the same, but we're going to change these 3 dots right here into a line. Okay. We're also going to go to the secondary 0 line, and we're going to make that a line as well. We're going to make the secondary upper line also a line, yes. And then we're going to make the lower early 0 line a line as well. So everything here was dots, and we just changed them all to lines. So once you have that, you'll see that it changes over here. Now before we go to the bottom, I want to go back over here to inputs. Follow along with me. Yeah, we're going to drag that down. We're going to make that around 40%. This is your line for your sentiment. And we're going to let that go. And we're going to come back up to style. And we're going to scroll down. Remember, we just did the secondary 0 line, the secondary upper and lower lines. That is these lines. The 3 orange lines here. The last thing we're going to do is go down here. And you're going to see all these bar colors. Okay, now we only want a few of these selected. And what we're going to do is uncheck the first one. We're going to uncheck, this is from the bottom, not the top. So we're going to uncheck the first one from the bottom. We're going to leave the second one. Uncheck the third one. We're going to leave the fourth one and the fifth one. And we're going to uncheck everything above the fifth one. So we're going to uncheck everything above the fifth one. Please make sure that your secondary failure is checked. Okay? And with that secondary failure, you have the third thickness selected, right? And you're going to click in the space. So again, if you need to go over that again, you're going to uncheck every bar here except for the second one from the bottom, the fourth one from the bottom, and the fifth one from the bottom. And that is it. And you're going to click OK. And ladies and gentlemen, you have your chart settings.